Vodafone presents the pre-match.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the grand final of ESL One Katowice 2019, brought to you by the numbers 3, 7 and 16. A little bit mystified on the stats? Don't worry, we've got your back. Could be the third title for Team Secret, tying them with Virtus Pro. It also could be the 7th time they've beaten Gambit if they've managed to win all 3 games. And if they do that, it would be 16 games in a row without defeat. Sounds like a mountain to climb, right? And it probably is, if we're honest. But Gambit, they're up for the challenge. Before we get to talk about the 2 teams and we introduce you to our grand final panel, though, let's check in with a man who's never won here in Katowice and would like to do exactly that.
I think so far this tournament, almost every matchup we've had has gone kind of as we expected. And we lost the game against OG in the group stage, which was a hiccup. But Gambit would be a comfortable opponent for us if we play them the 3rd time, I think. I think we've shown that we're prepared to beat them and we're prepared to play against them. I like the Polish crowd. I was here last year, but I didn't get to play on the main stage. I was eliminated before. So this year it's nice being able to actually play in front of the crowd and on the stage, and especially because we have Nisha on the team who's Polish, so yeah, it's nice. Winning Katowice would be fun. This event has been here for a long time, and I've never gotten to win this one. I won a few ESL events here and there, never won in Poland, and not the one in Birmingham, so maybe 2 to tick off the list. Yeah.
Determined to tick this one off the list indeed, and as well they might. They're in fine form. They've been a fantastic team all the way through the group stages and the brackets. You have to go all the way back to the very first game, the very first day, to find any chinks in their armor. They lost the opening game. Since then, 13 straight without a single loss. That puts them in the top 25 streaks of all time. As I said in the intro, it's going to be a mountain to climb, but can they climb it? A question perhaps for our panel, which is made up of Kat, Blitz and the Has. Gents, good afternoon. Welcome to the grand final. It's great to have you. Alan, it's a tall order, so let's just get that one out of the way to start with. Sure. Secret have been in imperious form throughout this tournament, and they've looked, you know, without beating around the bush, they have looked like a tier above everyone else.
Absolutely, and I think they're not just a tall order for Gambit right now. I think beating Secret in a best-of-5 series would be a tall order for any team in the world in Dota 2 right now. You open with some numbers, though, Paul, and I've got one for you that I just noticed. Puppey, earlier at this event, became the only player in Pro Dota 2 history to win 400 LAN games with one team. Puppey with Secret, and I mean his win rate is up there. Only current VP and current Liquid are ahead of his 61.5% win rate on LAN of, I think it's 41 players with 300 or more LAN games with one team. It's an incredible run.
Yeah, it's an astonishing consistency, and it's part of their success, Will, isn't it?
Yeah, I
the
mean,
Puppey factor.
When you know that your captain has been there, done that, he's confident, he's won a TI, and he's, honestly, it probably helps that he's like a very imposing figure. Like, the dude's just taller than everybody. Like that, I naturally respect taller people. Like, you know, because you have to literally look up. Of course, that's your captain. You feel good about that. He's probably like a calming presence because you know, like, this guy knows what he's doing. He's gonna get us the best possible drafts. This guy's just a proven winner. That's the thing about Dota, is you want to play with people that win and win consistently, and he's near the top of that list.
You don't have those doubts, you know, like the doubts of like whether or not your captain is making the right calls or he's making the right drafts. Like, sure, maybe there's a flub here or there and you think that he screwed up somewhere, but at the end of the day, you trust that he's gonna make the changes because he showed time and time. I mean, there's very few captains out there that have better consistency than Puppey.
Yep, and I guess it doesn't hurt that he's got Zai on great form right now. Yapsor, we know he's a great player at the 4 as well. And Mid1 on fire. But the one that stands out, obviously, because we're on Polish soil and he gets to play in front of an adoring crowd on a grand final stage, is Nisha. He must be absolutely loving this right now.
Yeah, this is 2 years in a row for him at Katowice, and of course last year he came in with a Kingwin squad that were very much underdogs. They showed some game fight in their group phase matches, but didn't have quite the cast of characters around him that he has with this Secret team. And it's just, again, time and time again, Puppey is able to integrate these young players into squads and have such early success. It is hard to bring talent together in this game. And yet year after year with Weeha, with Envy, and now with Nisha, he's able to bring these young guys in with mid-1 from a different region and have the kind of impact success that you rarely see.
Will, do you feel like he would quite like to keep this team together next year and not have to go back to basics after TI and rebuild a completely different version of Secret again?
Oh, for sure. This is probably the lineup that's going to work best for them, just because I think this is the lineup that has the most versatility. Like, I think really Secret's success comes from the fact that they have maybe 4 3-position players, or like 4 4-position players, because mid-1 doesn't really farm. He just goes around the map, he wins his lane, he goes and ganks nonstop. Zai gives up his lane half the time so that Yapzor can farm. Yapzor always allows Puppey to get some measure of farm. Like, Puppey somehow manages to get the scraps. Like, this is a very greedy team, but it works because their cores are so selfless. Then you have Nisha, he just hits creeps, he does his own thing. This is probably the combination of players that you need to make this playstyle work. Right. If you have one guy that's a little bit too greedy or is used to playing a more traditional 1 or even 3 position, it probably doesn't work.
Right. I mean, if there's a worry for Puppey, and he's been here before, it's that they've had this kind of run before. You think back to the first iteration of Secret, it looked a phenomenal team on paper. It then proved it was a phenomenal team. It won 6 lands leading into TI and then just crumbled. And he knows what that's like, and he won't want that to happen this season. What's he going to have to do?
Well, I think there's probably, he probably feels better about the roster, as we've already talked about. I think Kyle did a really good job of highlighting the strengths of Secret last year compared to this year. Definitely feels like it's a lot more credible dominance by Secret here. But I'm sure he also picked up some things from last year's failure and where they went wrong. I mean, it's not the first or second, it's maybe the 3rd run at this, right? Because the very first big Secret also had that kind of dominant run, ends up falling out in TI. So I'm sure he's picking up little things here and there.
All right, okay. Going to get more from all 3 panel members in just a moment. We're going to talk Gambit, but first, let's let the main man on Gambit talk for himself. FNG is with Sheila.
Yeah, thank you very much, Paul. For FNG, this is the 3rd time that we're talking here together. And I know you've said a lot already about your match against Secret, about a match earlier today as well. And I figured I'd just ask you a little bit about your teammates, because we don't really get to talk to them that much. So I was hoping you could talk to me about basically your whole squad. You want to start with the Hawk?
Well, first of all, they are all nerds. That's why they're not coming here. They're just like, no, you go to sacrifice yourself to do interview. The Hawk is super calm guy. He's the one guy who is saying like, yo guys, relax, game is not finished, we should play, don't like scream and so on. The loudest guy I think is me and the Ninja, because I'm the one who is screaming something like, yo, go Roche, go suicide or whatever. And like the most quiet guys, I think, Afterlife and Immersion.
And you know that there's going to be an MVP given away at the end of today. Who of your squad, based on all the matches you've played this tournament, you feel, and I'm sorry, you cannot name yourself, you know, a true captain fashion, who would you, of your team would you name MVP?
I mean, the idea is we have only one guy with driver license, so it's probably going to be Immersion, but we're all going to sit in his Mercedes car, and he's going to drive us to the home.
I mean, he has had some amazing games, so I wouldn't be surprised to see it. Do you have any final words before your match, before your grand final match?
Thank you for the whole support and people who came here. You're amazing, and let's just see some good dots.
All right, couldn't have said it better myself. Back to you, Paul.
Thank you very much. Yeah, good dotes indeed. Well done. Good man, FNG. We sometimes forget that this team is quite young, and therefore doesn't possess many driving licenses amongst them. So they may have an issue if there's an MVP, but I'm sure we can fix that and send them through a quick course and get them past.
I mean, I like the fact that the one person with the driver's license is probably the person who would win the MVP.
Yep.
I think Immersion's just been amazing in this tournament.
It's funny, isn't it, Will? Because when we look at Gambit as a squad, they aren't like Secret, where they've had some really amazing players stand out very strongly, like Nisha, like Mid1, like Zai. It's been very much a team-based.
Oh yeah, for sure. You can see that they have a lot of trust. They have some good strategies that it feels like they kind of got together and said like, okay, these are the heroes that work for us. Right. Dahak, you can play these heroes, you play the Visage, we can play this SF strategy. And that to me is very interesting just because they don't really rely on anyone having a superstar performance. It's more like they're going to overwhelm you with their team play.
Dan, do you agree?
Now, at the same time, I agree with what Will said in that this is a Gambit team that can hurt you from all 5 positions. But what we really saw Secret do to them yesterday to make them look mortal was to take away the 3 and the 4 roles. They shut down Afterlife hard in lane, and they kept Immersion down, roaming from lane to lane, kept his level low. You saw OG do the same thing to them in the first 17 minutes of the game this morning before that really game-turning Roche fight. I worry if there's an Achilles heel in terms of the draft for this team. Immersion has really only shown that he can have that high game impact on 2 heroes, on the Earth Spirit and the Nyx Assassin. I look at some point during the series, I think Puppey is going to attack that, and they're going to make Immersion show that he has a little bit wider hero pool.
Do you feel like Secret Cap, they learned something from what OG were trying to do in that lower bracket final? I know they weren't successful, but in the early game they were.
I'm not sure how much Secret really needed to learn. If anything, like, I think they've already got most of Gambit figured out, and they have to wait until Gambit shows something else and then see how they adapt.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, backstage, there was a lot of talk about, like, what's the score in this series going to be? I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Gambit take at least 1 game off of Secret, because FNG is a smart enough guy. But also the fact that there's this weird trend at this tournament, the repetitive drafts that we're seeing within a series. And, you know, I don't think, like, I'm not going to criticize it because I've never been in that position. These players obviously feel like the draft openers and stuff are fine as they are, and they only need to make some tweaks later on, but possibly a lot of tweaks inside of the game. I just thought it was an interesting thing because I don't think I've ever seen this many opener repeats before.
Right. It used to be a Peter thing. PBD used to do it a lot with EG back in the day, but he was almost alone in doing that.
Yeah,
Secret wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
Happy,
I mean, like,
as stubborn
just
as
think
he
about it, right?
was, sometimes wouldn't do that.
The Secret faced up against Gambit twice now. We had basically 2 very key heroes in the draft of the first series as well as the second series. OG just lost to Gambit in 2 different openers that were the exact same throughout the series, right? It's I don't know what it is, but it's interesting, right?
What do you guys put that down to?
I think part of it is just that we're in a very new meta right now. Teams are still, we're still trying to learn something about these heroes. And the thing about Dota is that the valuation of any one particular hero in the draft can change a lot depending on just one other hero on your or on the opposing side. And so teams are looking, you know, they're looking at that Nyx Assassin Visage opening, and they're saying, okay, well, we lost with it in game 1 against Secret, but in game 2, we're going to be able to secure the lane for the Afterlife hero. We're not going to have a Doom that just gets completely zoned out. Well, it turns out that isn't working. And when you ask Cap that question, I think if anything, OG followed the script that Secret have set during the winners bracket final, and it is up to Gambit to show, especially because Secret took out Dahak's Ursa, it's up to Gambit to show that they can have something other than Ursa or Visage.
Okay, we're going to talk more about draft and heroes and choices and picks because they're going to play a big role in this best of 5 final. But first off, we need a couple of teams.
Katowice! Let's get this started and welcome to the stage, Gambit Esports and Team Secret! Your grand finals is here! Gambit versus Team Secret!
A mountain stands in the way of history. Gambit facing their toughest task after facing it twice before and coming up empty. Can they do it at a third time of asking and lift the ESL One trophy for a historic first time? Their first ever grand final here at ESL One, matched by their opponents who have a ton of experience. Team Secret appearing in their 5th ESL One final, and that comes from just 13 ESL One events. It's an extraordinary record from one team.
Yeah, 61 games Puppy has won across those 13 ESL One lands. That is the most of any player. Next highest are 55, shared by no one in solo. So he's had an unprecedented level of success at these events.
Yeah, only Virtus.pro can match the, well, the trophy cabinet is not matched, it's ahead right now. They have 3 in the bag after winning 3 last season, all the way from the original Hamburg showing. Secret have taken a little bit longer to get there because obviously they won one earlier than that. But to match Virtus.pro at this level as well, and the amount of ESL One titles, that's also it's something of pride for these Secret players.
Absolutely, and when you look at the fact that this was the point in last season where I felt that this Secret team really lost their momentum, I think it makes a big statement that they've come out here after winning the CQ Major and shown, if anything, even more dominant form.
Yep, it was also the place last year where Virtus.pro really kicked off their title run towards TI and looked almost untouchable from here on in for the next 4 or 5 majors as well last season. So we'll be watching with interest as Secret move on from ESL One. But job not done yet, Cap. This isn't, you know, I don't want to, we've set it up. It is a mountain to climb. It is difficult. Gambit, all the form points to Secret, all the tiered stuff points to Secret, the players points to Secret, but it's not done yet. They've got to do the job.
Yeah, and there's always room for you to be able to figure something out, not just being able to review from your failures previously. That is the big advantage that Gambit has over Secret, is the fact that they've gotten a lot of data off of it. We even heard FNG himself say, we tried something, it didn't work. We tried another thing, it didn't work. And it sounded like to me he was confident that they had more ideas.
Yeah.
Right? And it only takes one idea potentially to be able to open the series up against Secret, and then at point it becomes a question whether or not how quickly, or whether they can at all, Secret are able to respond and adapt.
We're going to head towards the draft. Will, your thoughts on what we might see and might not see in this opening draft?
I wonder if we're going to see the Visage again from Gambit, just because it's their best strategy, but at the same time, it's been rocked twice in a row. And funny enough, by the way...
look at those bans from Gambit, by the way.
Yeah.
Yep.
What?
Well, the Enigma is something that Secret have been going to in the first phase.
And
the Jakiro is a surprise.
The Jakiro ban?
Yep.
Did you see, by the way, what FNG tweeted? He said, how do you beat Secret?
How do you beat Secret?
And then Kezu said, don't pick single core or single target offlaners that can't lane, like Doom or Night Stalker. He's like, you have to be...
Troll-a-lol.
He says, you have to play faster, and you can't just allow your offlane to get sacked.
Secret have started off with something funky.
So it appears that, by the way, FNG is following the advice, because this Pango at least gives them the option to slide Doom to another role. I would imagine this Pango, for most teams drafted like this, would be the mid.
Right.
But Secret are going to go ahead, right, and they may be taking out a page out of the OG playbook, at least threatening the Vengeful Spirit mid.
I really
Probably Viper.
I'm pretty certain it's going to be Viper mid.
I would have to agree.
I think what Gambit really liked in all the games that they played against Secret is that the point of Dota is that at some point in the game, your lineup has to be strong. And your lineup also has to ask itself the question, how many team fights do we need before we win the game? And does that number even exist? And I feel like for Gambit, in the previous drafts against Secret, there was never really a point where their lineup was going to win. And that was the issue. They weren't stronger in the laning phase. They weren't stronger as the game progressed. So they need to find a more definitive timing. I felt like their draft was sort of like a bunch of halfway measures cobbled together because they were getting scared. And they're like, well, we have to respond pick by pick. But the overall cohesiveness of your lineup is the thing that matters the most in Dota. You can't just get so focused on one or two heroes or the fact that you're losing or winning with certain strategies.
And that's why Gambit's moves inside of the game look so bad, right?
Yeah.
It felt like they were forced to make plays just simply because of the fact that they knew that their current position wasn't good and they weren't going to get into a position that was superior to Secret either. So they had to try and change the game state. And when you're forced to do something like that, it's not natural.
Yeah, and when you talk about counters, right? I like the fact that Secret in that previous series, they're not just countering the heroes, they're countering the way that Gambit plays them. Like picking the Brewmaster for the AoE offensive purge to be able to take away that Dahak Crimson Guard rush on his Visage. Little things like that just take you even farther outside your comfort zone as a team.
Yeah, I think this first...
I'm still stuck on the Jakiro ban.
One of the...
I mean, okay, ban it at some point, but it just seems weird. Why would you ban that first phase against Secret?
I think part of it is you're leaving multiple of the top supports in the pool. You're leaving the Nature's Prophet support in the pool. The Coddle and Chen already taken out for Secret.
So you're saying it could have been almost anything that doesn't get played on a regular basis?
I think that's there is such a thing as a throwaway ban.
Yeah,
we don't see it very often.
No, we see it from Virtus Pro.
One of the things I would like to be able to see more from teams like Gambit in comparison to Secret is the versatility of the positioning of their heroes. Seeing as lane configuration is so important, I think it would be... Like, I just don't see it from Gambit, but I would love to be able to say, hey, they could also run this safe lane ping.
All right,
you know,
so
like Evil Geniuses did.
Next assassin here? No, Nature's Prophet. That's the other support, kind of the last one left.
Yeah. Lion
I guess
Secret
that's
is something they've played a lot.
Yeah, that's going to be a Yapsor Lion, and the farm that he gets on that hero is just incredible. I mean, we saw that was that aggro dual lane in the first game that Secret played against Gambit in the Winter Bracket Finals. I mean, Yapsor was level 7 on his Lion at 12 minutes at the same time that Immersion was level 4. And the impact that he had on that game just was insane.
They have some flexibility there, because that Venge can be a 4 or 5, right?
Sure.
I mean, I see Puppy playing the Lion more often in the past, but I mean,
I think this is a
Yapsor
Yapsor Lion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Does it make more sense as a 5, the Venge, for you, Will?
It depends on what their... Oh, that's interesting.
Their 3 position.
Yeah, that's your 3.
Yeah.
And this is the question for Gambit, right? What's Immersion going to play? Because right now, if you're drafting based on what you've seen in the past, you see on the SAP recommendations, you almost feel locked into that Nyx Assassin. The Shadow Shaman I could get behind, but already Shadow Shaman is a hero that can so easily feed to Bounty Hunter.
What I like about this Bounty Hunter is it's very good versus both Nature's Prophet and Pango. The ability to just get on top of these heroes, do a large amount of burst damage. Both of them suffer from some sort of channeling ability, which Shuriken is very easily disrupts that whole concept. We've seen a lot of these like 3, 4 bounty hunters that build up a lot of damage, and with the teamfight potential that Secret has, they have that early advantage.
The other hero that I've liked from Immersion in the past, he's actually played some Phoenix in the past and looked pretty good on it, and I think that might be a nice teamfight plan to kind of complement something for the Pango to fight around.
I think they need more initiation on Gambit. I feel like they need a little bit more team fight.
You know, there's no Elder Titan anywhere in this.
Yeah, that is something that Immersion has played a little bit in the past. They haven't had the kind of success with it that Secret have. Yeah, but you really do expect the 4 to come out. Oh, wow. Into a Lion.
Yeah.
But there's no other answers besides the Lion. There's always going to be some sort of disables you have to worry about.
I don't know, man. I actually, Viper actually does a, like, if you just look at his damage numbers after these matches lately, his magic damage output is insane, much higher than it used to be. So I know that in the past we would never have talked about Viper countering Terrorblade, but
which one do you value more? Nether Toxin doing damage to TB and his illusions, or do you value the intense amount of right-click physical damage that TB's putting during that time?
I guess what it does is it gives you. The thing is, if you're going to beat a team like Secret, like you either have to out early game them, or you have to have some sort of late game win condition, and hope that you can hold out. I think that the TB at least secures that part. It's telling Team Secret, like, if we can stall this game out, we're going to put a clock on you with this TB.
And neither the Bounty Hunter or Viper going late are going to be as effective cores. And they already have the Nature's Prophet looking to stall out this game. The biggest concern is that Team Secret, like, their lanes are going to be really good, and then they've got this snowballing mechanic off of the track.
do you think the Bounty Hunter is strong in lane? Because that's where I really wonder. I haven't seen enough of these pro Bounty Hunter games this patch to be confident in whether that hero is punishable in lane or not.
Pretty sure it beats Pango here. It'll get a farm off of TB Bounty Hunter, or sorry, TB Nature's Prophet, because you don't have any disables to really threaten him. Don't know how he does against Doom.
Now, worth noting also that Secret will have the final pick overall, and that's something that Gambit had been abusing. They've been coming into this morning, they were last pick, their second pick in 12 out of their 13 drafts. And they had been picking almost exclusively Alpha Ninja Heroes last, so this is definitely a departure from what we've seen from them. I really still want to know what Immersion's going to be playing. And there you go, there's the Impact 4.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's
we saw it in
the
MDL.
impact of having 2 tournaments at once. Crit was very effective with this Dark Willow. Been seeing more and more Dark Willow being played around with in pubs. The laning phase is pretty good for this hero, and the team fight is massive.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you're able to. It's another hero like Nature's Prophet from a support position that can shove out waves pretty easily because of the fact that you clear it with your ult and you've got the protection of Shadow Realm.
Only one game on it here at ESL One. That was Alliance playing against Chaos.
I actually quite like the team fight from Gambit here. I think that at least they've checked that box. I think they're going to be able to take these engagements against Secret, and it's just going to come down to whether or not you can match the aggression from Secret in the laning phase, because, you know, we saw earlier Gambit got off to these rough early game starts against OG and was able to outfight them in these mid-game engagements in the Roshan pit. Secret are just not going to make those same kind of mistakes.
Yeah, all right, let me phrase this a little bit differently. I'm not asking you for a prediction, I'm just going to phrase this differently. If Gambit can have a better laning stage, can they win this first game?
Absolutely.
Will?
Yes.
Cap?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, all right.
All we need
Seems
is
to be the key.
like, yeah, if they just have like a better start to some of these games, yeah, I think this lineup can absolutely just a little bit of stall, start getting the TB into place, start taking towers. They've got pretty good team fight.
All right, thank you very much, gents. Going to hear more from our panel, of course, at the end, and they'll be wrapping up game number 1 as we will all the way through. We're hoping for a fantastic series, and to kick things off, game 1 needs to be big from Gambit. Let's see how it gets on.
Ladies and gentlemen, Team Secret going up against Gambit in the best of 5 grand finals here at ESL One Katowice 2019. I'm ODPixel, I'm here joined by Fog for this one, and it should be a lot of fun. We're seeing both teams change it up. Gambit, we knew they were going to try something a little different. They kind of are, they're reverting back to the Terrorblade.
And they're picking 2 of the newer heroes, right? We've got Willow and Pango on the same team for the first time in quite a while. I don't think we've seen them together that much. So the Terrorblade pick was the big one that was the talk, right? Of course, before that Willow. So the TB in this game, he has Reflection, which is incredibly useful versus that Venge, right? He can always be getting that aura. So I think that might be one of the big reasons they pick it, because it actually increases your damage by such a massive magnitude. You can copy a lot of the auras that come out.
And of course, they're talking about the Terrorblade. There will be that matchup down the line. Nisha on his Morphling. We have seen in the past this boy carry so many games on the Morph. A little less recently, they've sort of gone elsewhere with the majority of the carries. They prefer to see Nisha on this patch, but still, you cannot underestimate his Morphling, especially when it's in a game against the Terrorblade.
Yeah, absolutely. And right off the bat, we already see Secret kind of changing things up, right? They don't actually want to put the Viper in the mid matchup versus the Pango. They're going to be sending the Morphling, who is going to have a pretty good time. You have a higher base damage by a decent chunk, and Nisha actually just gets a Treant.
He does, yeah. Free plus 16 gold there.
I think they also got one for Zai, too.
I believe that's probably why we're seeing the spamming coming out in the chat already between the two teams. But so this lane switch up, this is just down to the fact that that mid lane's kind of just not nice for the Viper, or are you taking Nisha away from a dodgy side lane?
I think it's both. I think it's a little bit of both. Like Venge Morphling versus this Doom plus Willow, and now Willow is pretty strong actually with the new changes on Bramble Maze. You can spam it pretty often, 25-second cooldown all levels, 100 mana at level 1. Used to be 140, so it makes it a lot stronger, a lot more threatening in the lane. So I think that's the plan. Moving him away from the Doom and just, it's like a double better matchup here for Secret.
Yeah, we'll see how Gambit react to it once the lanes kick off. But as we saw, obviously feeding the Treants earlier to the lanes will have given them the information. So they'll at least know and be prepared for the fact that Nisha is going to start mid as the Morph. And we'll see how that reflects in the way that Gambit move around the lanes. For now, starting with both Immersion and Older Coolidge down on the bottom lane. But as we can see, you know, it's been a big streak so far for Secret. Win after win after win. Gambit, they've already had a few chances to try and trip them up. This time they're going to have to try even harder, as obviously in the upper bracket final, it wasn't nearly good enough.
So I have the Lion Bounty lane to contest the Terrorblade as well as that Nature's Prophet. Right off the bat, they're both actually just clicking the Treants to try to make sure that they don't get zoned out too hard, but it's still a Nature's Prophet who can zone very hard, and they have that level 1 meta. So Dahak will be able to farm this wave just nicely. Mid lane, we see Afoning is actually putting some pressure onto Nisha even, some hits.
These early sort of swashbuckles, being able to abuse the fact that when Nisha does morph into the Agi, he's very low on HP. And Nisha will be able to dance around with it. He's prepared, he's got a Fairy Fire, and also salving himself back up to full right now after the first few swashbuckles from Afo Ninja.
God, the animation on Pangolier is just so damn fast that he's actually securing so many extra last hits. He's actually gotten like 2 disarms as well onto Nisha. 8 and 3 already versus that 5 and 0.
That makes it kind of a tricky lane for Nisha at the early levels. We'll see how it changes after he gets a few more and he's able to be a bit more aggressive back towards Alpha Ninja's Pangolier.
Yeah. Like even though Nisha's got such high base damage, it's really just that animation. It's just so damn fast on Pango. As bottom, they are securing. Mid one is getting good farm, and the Doom is actually getting pushed out just a bit here. Since he's that super low armor hero versus Venge, you don't have a great time. That minus armor from the Wave of Terror is quite punishing versus Doom, and even Willow. Willow only has 2 armor too. So you both get put negative down here.
Count will be blocked here at the 2-minute mark as both Puppey and Immersion start to trade blows around it. Puppey is going to get caught in the bramble. Mid one's going to be there by his side. Making sure that Coolidge can't get close enough to Puppey. Does manage to get the Infernal Blade down onto mid one. Mid one turns, Nether Toxin down on the floor. Puppey of the well with a magic missile. It's a lot of damage on older Coolidge, but not enough to bring him down, as he'll be able to back off, and he does still have a salve if he feels the need to pop it. Top lane, FNG is going to TP back to base for a free refresh. And we're seeing Dahak, 11 for 9, not really receiving too much pressure at all from this dual lane at the moment of Zai and Yap, so it's not slowing down the Terrorblade's farm.
Not just yet. Once their levels build up, then they start getting a high amount more damage between these two, in particular from that Janata. They even have good magic damage too, because Shuriken is not something to overlook. That level 1 is 150 damage.
And the mid lane just continuing to be pretty much dead even.
It's dead even, yeah.
Farm between Afo Ninja and Nisha. 14 for 5, 14 for 4.
Afo got his bottle before Nisha did though, so he's going to have that better rune control and just better ways to put pressure onto Nisha for the start here. You see Puppey.
Gonna try and lead him with the Bramble Maze, but it's off the mark there from Immersion.
Doesn't quite catch him. The nice thing, at least with the Willow versus that Venge matchup, is you can always, well not always, but you can dodge the Venge stun a lot of times with that Shadow Realm. So Puppey has to be, wary just to watch out for that if they do set up for some kills.
I mean, down the bottom lane, Older Coolidge, she is keeping up the sort of the aggression and the spam using the Satire Tormentor Blast too, and it's slowing down mid one's farm early on. As you can see, just not quite at the same pace as that as Dahak's up top as the Terrorblade. He is getting the way, he's pushed in underneath the tower, where he's having to do his best to farm alongside the tower, punching into those dire creeps.
Pretty similar early start on both sides. Just the winner is the TB having that 16 denies in comparison to the Viper only having 4 at the moment. AFO will secure that rune. So both these heroes have ways to secure runes, waveform as well as that swashbuckle.
Getting pretty aggressive down here as they'll move it onto mid one. Bramble's going to be dropped down. That's going to be mid one gone. They'll get first blood Gambit. They can even look to try and turn towards Puppey. He's incredibly low. Older Kulich looking to chase him down. Infernal Blade slammed down as well. It's going to tick him low. Is it going to be enough to kill him? It won't. He has the stick charges.
He has the double fairy fire as well.
He did as well. I mean, I think we saw that there as well with the way that Gambit played. They knew they didn't want to play too aggressive. They knew that mid one would surely be TPing back to the lane. So smart play. Getting the kill on mid one and not overextending for an unnecessary attempt at a support kill.
Yeah, I think this creep is just, it's always talked about as like one of the best creeps. Sure, the other ones, like the Thunderclap, is incredible amount of damage that comes from the Hellbear, but this one is just that sustain you get in the lane. He has 9 HP regen.
Look at this up top. Some beautiful body blocking there with the treants from FNG. Allows Dahak and FNG to simply right-click down Zai. Of course, at this stage of the game, with the skill build, you go for on the offlane. No points in the invis, so Zai could not get out of that.
Very nicely done as Yapzor.
He's going to get the bouncy rune, but indeed, he's going to totally whip the stun on the two of them. And Gambit making the moves happen. As
3 quick kills.
And a 2k gold lead at 5 minutes in. This is a beautiful start for Gambit against Team Secret.
Yeah, this bounty, the bounty line lane is actually not able to put that much pressure at all onto Terrorblade because of FNG.
Yeah.
Just like you said, he can just TP back home, come back fresh, resummon some treants and continue that pressure. It actually saves you a lot of time on regen, and also it's a free delivery system for Dahak to pick up his items every time. They don't have to be like, hey, does mid need the courier? Doesn't matter. Mid can always use the courier in this situation with the Furion as your 5-position support.
The best lane so far, of course, for Secret being this mid lane, Nisha on the Morphling. It is something that we have seen before. If the Morphling can be put mid and get good farm, as Nisha has been doing, it gets incredibly powerful incredibly quickly because you're getting this solo XP boost on a hero that, once he has the levels, there's a lot of kill potential. He's going to turn towards Alpha Ninja, start to trade hits. They are going to be able to fight towards the mid one. Viper's falling incredibly low. A turn with the net toxin onto Older Kulich, but Older Kulich won't fall. They'll lose mid one. It's another death on Secret. Puppey trying to go for the 3 of them. They'll turn with the magic missile onto FNG, but they have the Infernal Blade. Puppey's got to get back behind the tower. Yapzor tips in the 3-man stun. Perfect angle from Yapzor. Sets up for a kill, but Afo Ninja, he's in as well. Swashbuckle finishes off Puppey, and he's even playing around with the idea of diving for more. He has got the Rolling Thunder. They see a chance. They may try for mid one. It's a little risky with Yapzor behind him. He's going to go in. The stun is there, though. Yapzor was prepared, and now a TP from Puppey is coming, but the Rolling Thunder's already out. They're in on top of mid one. The bounce off the wall. Alpha Ninja's coming back across. And mid one's in a whole lot of trouble. The Treants as well, bringing him down low. FNG's there on the side. He's not needed. The swashbuckle. Alpha Ninja finishes the kill. Yapzor is there with the turnaround stun, but he's trapped up. The Sprout holds him back. Alpha Ninja is still able to get away. Puppey, he's trying to chase. He's trying to fight, but he's getting right-clicked down by FNG. And Coolidge, they turn with a swashbuckle. Puppey will get the kill onto the Mango, but Puppey's dead. Yapzor as well also sprouts it, but he'll be able to bite his way out. The Sprout wears off.
Oh no, Afo, he got greedy going for the kill and actually just gives his life away. He could have gotten away there. Oh no.
Still the action kicking off on this bottom lane, 7-2 now.
Yep. And there, I was mentioning how top FNG was delivering items. Down bottom, he actually did the same exact thing here. He picked up the Soul Ring of the Doom before he TP'd down bottom, before that whole entire situation happened, and then he delivered it to the Doom, so he would have that extra mana. Actually a cool way of saving the courier for your mid.
Cursed Ground into the silence there from the proc of Alpha Ninja. Nisha will still get the chance to shift. They weren't quite able to kill him during that silence, so Nisha will survive. It's got the Master, has that extra lifesteal as well to keep him well sustained in the lane.
I was talking about how the bottom switch would be better for Secret, but it actually seems to, there's still the lane pressure that comes out from this Doom plus the Willow is just a bit too strong when they have that Satyr aura. That extra regen is really putting in quite a lot onto Secret here. They're just lane swapping now. It looks like it's just Zai making the move bottom because they're like, okay, we haven't actually pressured the TB, and what does Viper do better than anything now? He actually jungles as one of the fastest heroes in the game with his Nether Toxin now.
Zai's giving info out, Yapzor. We'll go for the stun onto Immersion, but obviously no further follow-up with FNG and Older Kulich by his side. You don't want to poke too more, Zai will reveal himself.
Gets that creep, has his phase boots finished up at base, so much stronger now on the bounty, but only level 4 on Zai right now.
Yeah, look at the farm at the moment. The top three, well, three of the top 4 net worth, all at the cause of Gambit. Only Nisha that's up there at the moment.
They're actually prioritizing YapzOr having level 6 very early in this game. He's quite close to it already, and it makes sense as well when he's playing versus a Terror Blade,
It's
right?
a guaranteed kill.
Yeah, it's a guaranteed kill every single time whenever YapzOr does have Finger, if he has it this early. And yeah, he's about to hit 6 on the line, so Secret did prioritize that, but at the moment now it's still 7-2. It's only a 1k gold advantage for Gambit right now, but
Zai.
off to a good start.
Look at the curse crown upon him, but usually able to walk away. YapzOr now hitting the level 6, so we'll see if they're able to make a play with this.
Already has the smoke in his inventory too, so does want to make a play immediately when he can get a position
At
too.
the same time, talking about making a play, Dahak will TP down towards the bottom to join the forces of Gambit and maybe try and apply some pressure and take this tier 1 tower away from Secret safe lane.
They're bringing 4 heroes. Secret's they're playing the map. You see Puppy's farming top, Nisha's farming mid, so Gambit's committing a lot to try to get this here. And
can Secret fight this? They are bringing TPs in. They do want to try and do something. Nisha's going to come and join the fight. So Gambit already are backing off. They knew that Zai was sprouting them out. So FNG pops out the dust. Sprout to hold back Nisha, but Nisha wait falls forward. He's into the Terrorblade form. Has the Metamorphosis. Starts to punch into Dahak. He's looking for the easier kill onto Immersion. The blast with the Adaptive Strike. Not quite enough to kill Immersion off Nisha. Still with a haste ring trying to find him. Can he finish off the kill in time? His Curse Crown's going to hold him back, and he cannot find Immersion. Immersion keeps himself well hidden deep behind the trees. And now Dahak turns towards Nisha, but Nisha begins to build up the strength. He's been silenced, though he's surrounded in Immersion. The Shadow Realm hit. He kills off Nisha. Dahak's got to run. He's out of mana, but maybe with the Sprout to Zai, they can find another. Zai, he's dusted up. FNG's back in with the detection roll fall from Alpha Ninja. Zai will fall as Gambit, they take the 2 kills, maybe more as the Rolling Thunder connects onto Puppy. Turn with the Magic Missile, the stun as well from YapzOr. They have the Hex, do they have the damage as they're punching into Alpha Ninja? They'll get the kill. FNG, can he walk himself away? He's ticking down to the poison, but the Tango keeps him alive.
my god, mid one did so much damage in this fight. Just with the Viper, look how many Nether Toxins he threw out. He threw out 7 Nether Toxins there as they were chasing into the tree lines. He actually picks up his Arcane Boots, and the one thing for Gambit there is, I think that Secret recognized that Afo Ninja was mid, and he had no mana on the Pangolier, neither did he have a TP. So when that dive starts happening, he actually has to run all the way from mid to try to help his team, and Secret's able to chase them all the way back to tower. Even though some heroes keep respawning, Secret does come out quite far ahead in that one.
Got that level 6 now on the bounty, so the track gold can kick in next time. As long as Zai can find himself in position to safely lay him out. The silence on Tanisha.
They needed Afo there though. That's like he has to be available for those fights, and it was identified from Secret. He is the crucial part of their team fight.
He forced FNG to TP straight out of the top lane.
That completely got mid one back in the game because he was what, bottom 5 net worth. Now all the way surged back up to that top 4. He's so much tankier now in the Viper too. Gambit has to be careful how they set up for those type of tower pushes because they didn't actually even get it. They only got it down to 584 HP.
No surprise here, FNG with the amount of involvement that he's had this game so far. Constantly being involved in the moves. YapzOr, as we said earlier, just continuing to have this area of prioritization that Secret are giving him. Not only in levels, but in farm as well, as it worked towards that Aghanim's rush, as we saw last time when he pulled off the line.
Puppy got space too during all that. He was top farming. He's near level 7 on the Venge with an urn. So they have been spending a decent amount of time farming on their supports before they actually made that reactionary play to Gambit. And they are all carrying Quelling Blades as well, is the thing I noticed. I think everybody except like mid one and Nisha, the supports as well as the Bounty Hunter, just to be able to deal with that tree and protect, the Nisha's Prophet. Sorry.
What's he Alpha Ninja? What's he going to go itemize here? Maelstrom. Pretty close to being done. 600 gold, and we'll have the Mithril Hammer.
Now they're going to be able to claim this bottom tower. And Secret, they'll go for a trade. FNG is set up here in the tree lines.
See if anyone else joins him. It doesn't look like it for now. They will let that top one go. In fact, mid lane Secret, looking for the setup, but with the finger they found it. YapzOr able to come in and help Nisha get that kill onto Alpha Ninja, and that is another one on the finger of death kills for YapzOr, now sitting at 2. That damage slowly being amped up. He has the point booster, and at this pace, he is again going to hit good Aghanim's time in this game. Top lane FNG's over the TP, but Puppy's going to find him. The creeps grant him vision of FNG trying to TP out. Track money. A Secret. Nothing personal. They're starting to Pushback, as you say, on the alternate side of the map. Make sure they find the trades. Farms continuing to look very good for Nisha. He's 100 gold off having a Midas complete.
Secret's lineup can just play, they can play at quite a faster pace in comparison to Gambit.
Nisha, he did wait form into this one.
He gets the shift
He
off.
should be fine. He can get back to the shrine. TPs are coming in. Secret, they may even just be able to turn if Gambit continues to chase. TP in from FNG. They're trying to fight this immersion. He pops down the fear to send 2 of them back. They've already lost the Doom, though. Alpha Ninja gets the roll up, but there's 2 dead on Gambit. Secret easily being able to turn the tides there as they TP in. Gambit just forcing that too hard, chasing up to the high ground, up towards the shrine. They should have backed off as soon as they saw that Nisha got the shift off before the Doom was down.
And that's them using 2 of their big ultis there. And Secret, I was just saying, they don't really rely on ultis. They're just gonna keep trying to play this fast pace and just not really let Gambit abuse their long cooldown ultimates and just keep trying to take fights with those. Nisha, with that Morphling and that TB that, you double click it, so you make sure that you're the Terrorblade in your Morphling form, so you get that extra range, able to hit the tower without actually being in range of it. How lovely.
That's a very easy siege, it looks like, from Secret here down the middle lane. As Tier 1's gone swap back as well. Puppey, he's able to get a catch onto Alpha Ninja, steps forward a little too far.
Ooh, Apfo has given up quite a few deaths here in this game that he could have avoided. That bottom one, the mid one, and now that's the biggest kill that they can get on the board. That's one of the strongest heroes in the game.
They're going for Roche.
They go straight into Roche off of it, and they have Avenge, and Nisha was still in that meta form for a second.
Every little thing adding up for the speed that they're going to be able to take this. We'll see this replay again.
Gets that shift
off.
At
this point, you've got to back off if you're Gambit. There's no way you're getting this kill, and you're only walking into imminent danger. As Secret quick to turn, there's no way they're letting Misha stand here alone, as Nisha is fully backed up.
They seem to always have the numbers, right, on Secret. Sure, and this time they're on top of their shrine, so it makes sense, but they always are aware to have those TPs as
Back the game down bottom. Zai does come in to try and put a stop to the push, but he's going to lose his life. It is sort of just taking the attention away, of course, from Roshan. Secret were able to finish it off. They do now have the Aegis onto Nisha.
Yapzor?
He tries for the stun. He has got the finger back available to pop.
If he hit that, that's a kill. He actually had already prepped the finger immediately right
Ninja, he's actually going in with the Rolling Thunder, seeing if he can start something here. It's a little risky. There's a lot of Secret around. He'll see Puppey, but he's indeed starting to back off. Gambit will take the tower, and it's probably their best interest to just get out of here for now. They got an objective. They're at least able to find something whilst they gave up the Roshan Aegis to Secret. They don't want to lose anything else.
They're able to pick up one of their Midases now, too. It's going to be a Midas into that Shadow Blade. Mobility item absolutely needed. Blink isn't really the best one on a Doom versus that Morphing. You probably want it eventually, but actually that item's kind of been disappearing anyway. But the Shadow Blade is needed so you can get it off before that attribute shift does come out.
And Zai's got eyes on Alpha Ninja. They do have more moving in on Secret. Alpha Ninja's got to get out of it. He tries to swashbuckle away, but with the double damage, Zai, he may just have this one on his own. And he does. Zai cleaning up Alpha Ninja, the mid laner for Gambit. As you said, we've seen Alpha Ninja pretty much die 3 times back-to-back within the last 2 minutes.
They instantly smoke toward top 2 to try to get another kill on that fast pace. These track kills, they really start to add up. It's still level 1, so it's not that crazy amount of gold, but it is significant. It does start to get there. And Puppey is going for deep plays already.
They've got the wraparound as well. The damage here just shredding through this Doom. Old Akulik's dead for 30 seconds, and Secret starting to take good control of the game, of the map. They're pushing tier 2 towers. They're getting these consistent track kills.
Medallion Wave of Terror with a DD Janata. Just half HP of the Doom in one attack. Starting to pick up some big items here on Secret 2. Atos was finished pretty recently on mid one, now a full mech. So they're getting that much, they're getting their own strong team fight potential versus what Gambit has, and Gambit's starting to kind of not want to take fights into Secret.
Yeah, I mean,
especially because of that Aegis now too.
And it's taken Alpha Ninja a long time to really get the Maelstrom. It was felt like a fair few minutes ago I was saying that he was close. He's only just now picked it up.
His game completely stopped. As Nisha has gone for, bots Midas. Merlini would be very happy.
He can keep all the lanes kept in and be at the beck and call to join his team as they get the swap. Puppey looking to start the fight. They do get the fear off onto the 2 of them, and Zai, he's sort of caught back and forth there. The path thing screwing him over as Zai cannot effectively get away. They've landed the Doom down onto Yapzor. Can Gambit get more out of this? Mid one shoots out a Viper Strike onto the Doom. The Sprout will keep Secret at bay, so Gambit They'll get a kill on Zai, and they'll make sure they'll lose no one in return.
That was weird, right? The way that he got stuck between the trees there, it must have been like the perfect spot to where it didn't know which was the actual angle for him to run away. So it kind of was like just a straight up stun on him.
It really was, yeah. The Terrorize absolutely working at its best potential there for Immersion.
They have deep vision down still on Secret, so they did see the Doom trying to hide in the trees there. Absol is invis.
Does he have the damage to do this? It's probably not quite enough on his own, and he won't try for it, won't at the risk that there was that vision around.
He's 800 or 950 from an Agnes already.
That's bottom Zai. Starts to poke around with FNG. And FNG, can he actually get out of this? There's a shuriken if he tries to TP. He sprouts himself. He can't get out. It's just easy pickings for Zai. Anywhere that this Prophet goes, if Zai's in town, it's a free solo kill for Zai.
How many Janata hits did he get on him there too? Like 3 or 4? So he gets even more gold just from that.
And Zai, once he has the Vanguard, there's just no way that the Prophet can ever hit back. He's too tanky for FNG to deal with on his own. FNG can only really go out on the map when he knows that Zai is elsewhere. As they've got vision onto Dahak, Zai keeping the information as he tracks him down. He has been scanned out.
All of Secret's coming to collapse on top of this though.
They are. The wraparound coming in from Puppey. They've opened up into Immersion. He's able to dodge the magic missile with the Shadow Round. As they'll continue to back up, get off behind the tier 1 tower and get him away from Secret top lane. Nisha looking for the solo kill opportunity. He zips forward onto FNG. FNG taken down by Nisha single-handedly.
Starting to get a bit out of hand here as they're able to solve always the split pushings that's coming out from Gambit. Oh, Nisha actually turning into that NP can actually teleport bottom and save both his bots and his TP scroll too. So they're keeping their lanes pushed in, and Secret's just keeping the pressure on Gambit. They're not finding opportunities to get their ultis off, and Afo Ninja has just completely been like shut down. He was having an excellent start in this game, and now he's just very squishy. 1100
Such
HP.
an easy kill for them if they can get locked down onto him. He's trying to go for the Rolling Thunder, but he cannot do it with the Atos down upon him. He'll go for the Swashbuckle Shield Crash, but he cannot survive against this amount of damage. They're trying to strike back a little bit with the Terrorize down as the two of them, but Puppey, he's actually coming with the wraparound. He just casually walks past them. FNG goes for the Sprout, but they cannot turn and try and kill them. Secret, they're too tanky on these heroes at the moment. A TP out comes into play from Immersion, and under the cover of the Shadow Realm, he will get out of there. But we are really seeing Gambit just struggle to kill anyone on Secret's lineup.
Puppey's the 5 position. He just walked literally right through the Willow and the Doom because he's almost level 11 on the 5 position Venge. You check out the Doom with a Midas is pretty much the exact same level. So these supports, quote unquote, on the side of Secret are pretty much playing as that 3 role because they have this bounty hunter who's just running around hunting. Zai's not hitting creeps. He's doing similar to, I mean, he said it in an interview, I think, the other day when he was playing like the Lesh. He was like, I don't need to hit creeps. I just need to run around and make space and let my supports farm.
He's making so much space this game. He's giving so much information for the rest of his team. Just being a constant annoyance. We are going to see Gambit respond a little bit. Sprouts down, but Zai quickly bites his way out. Older Kulich will not get the chance to land down at Doom straight off the bat as Yapsor's there with the stun. Meaning that Older Kulich can offer no more than an Infernal Blade, and Secret are able to back up, heal up by the Shrine. As Gambit just have to hold back. They still are unable to fight any members of Secret.
And the gold lead just continues to rise. Secret is distributing their wealth across the board. And like I was saying, they're keeping all the lanes pushed in, so they're not giving Gambit any opportunities to actually get too much more on the map.
We'll see there's Zai's movements. I mean, only that sort of top bit where he laned being the sort of intense blue. Other than that, it's just scattered around the entirety of the map. Zai has just been constantly on the move. Ever since that laning stage, there's no sort of static play from Zai. He's everywhere.
Yeah, and they've been placing very deep vision. You see all these sentries being placed out from Gambit. I mean, FNG's been buying so many of them to try to find these wards, but some have been a little bit sneaky. And when you're not dealing with just wards, like you said, it's the bounty hunter just walking around, giving vision, just constantly tracking people.
Yeah, you can see FNG really putting the work in this game. 27 wards placed.
Yeah,
he's trying his best, but it's still so hard against the coverage that Zai's granting the team.
And look at the way that Gambit's playing. They have all 5 heroes right now inside of their jungle. They're being scouted as well by the side of Secret, and Secret are playing all 3 lanes, just farming it up.
We'll see Elder Kulich getting close to having the Blink Dagger, but still Secret are just an item ahead. Nisha has his Lincoln Sphere, so he's no longer sort of worried about being caught out immediately by Elder Kulich's initiations.
This could be their timing, though. They didn't really have a great form of initiation. Now, if he is able to get that Blink Dagger, they also have the BKB on Dahak. So this could be the fight that they are looking to take big time here as they do pick it up. It's coming out on the Courier, though.
See smoke on smoke. There will be a smoke into a lineup that has an Aghanim's Lion. Yap's already with the AoE finger.
And he's level 12 now, too.
It's going to be a scary, scary engagement for Gambit to take, and a minute and a half faster than, of course, his own record there, so he's the one to do it twice this land. The Tranquils into Aghanim support Lion.
It's 1,000 AoE damage right now, by the way, if he's able to actually get it off on all
How
heroes.
even try and fight into this, to swap back onto FNG to hack will leap forward, but already the finger comes out, it bursts down the Nature's Prophet into the river though. Afro Ninja does get the Rolling Thunder, bouncing back and forth onto the Lion. Yapso will finally fall, but they've already lost 2 on Gambit. Dahak moves in with the BKB and the Metamorphosis. He will find Puppy. He's trying to turn towards Zai. They have the detection down, but he's the last one left alive on Gambit. He's got a Sunder, but Secret, they've got the numbers. Zai will survive as well as Midwood keeps him alive with the Greaves. Ultra kill for Nisha. Gambit just cannot fight Secret. They do not have the power.
Everyone just takes so much damage just from this, even the Venge aura just being with all of Secret there. You see Nisha just pummeling on everybody, and there's too many targets for Gambit to actually deal with. They're not able to get their initiation on, and like I was mentioning, Afoninhe, he's so squishy. He has 11 armor, but he doesn't even have like a stout shield, doesn't have like this Vanguard build that we see a lot of times, even from him on the Pango. He got slowed down so much, and now Secret, they're just looking to end it.
Absolutely, they're up to the high grounds for Nisha, keeping Afoninja at bay. They will have the full lineup up about 10 seconds, but no Metamorphosis. Everything was pretty much used for that attempt of a fight outside of the base. Rod of Atos onto Afoninja. At the same time, outside of the base, Yapso, he's found himself a catch with the finger. Bam! That's going to be another one, as that's Afoninja and FNG dead, both without buyback. The mid lane is going to be opened up as Nisha and Mid1 finish off the tier 3 tower. They don't have creeps at the moment, as the waves were able to be held back.
The Treants have a wave. He was able to get one there, so backdoor is enabled, like you said.
Oh, Puppy, he's going to have the swap. Immersion's been caught. Swap back into the claws of Secret, as they'll look for the mid-racks. A buyback comes out from Immersion. They will have FNG up as well, but still no Afoninja for 40 seconds. As Secret, they'll claim the melee racks, and I'm sure they'll look to stick around for more.
Why not? They feel so strong. I mean, they already have like Lincolns and everything before these Dooms can even come out to punish this Morphling.
Secret looking to start this best of 5 series just as hot as they were the other day. I mean, not just the other day, the entirety of this tournament. Something a little different, switching things around, bringing back the Nisha Morphling, and it's working out absolutely beautifully for them. As this is going to be a second set of racks easily for Secret.
There's
at the
nothing
least.
Gambit can do. They don't have meta available, right? The Hawk can't actually fight right now without meta. He's got it up in about 12 seconds, but before that, yeah, they don't even want to try. You see the Doom is jungling on the opposing side. Same thing with FNG.
Yeah, absolutely, with a straight-up finger at this point, destroys the entire health pool of Immersion. They've got to be careful. His finger of death with the Aghanims and the 4 bits of extra damage that he's managed to build up for the, throughout the duration of this game.
If they get an E-Blade and a Nether Toxin plus E-Blade plus a AoE finger, I think pretty much anybody's going to be dying.
Yeah, we could see some big kill combos from Yapso this game if the opportunity's there. But Gambit, not to be held back. They know that if they're going to do anything, it has to be outside the base, and it has to be catching Secret by surprise. Zai is getting low. They get on top of him. He's able to turn and run. Shuriken bounce back onto Immersion, holding back the Dark Willow for now. As Zai continues to retreat, Afoninja's going to try and chase him down with the Rolling Thunder. Nisha comes in, will get feared back. In fact, Nisha's dying. Nisha's dead. Gambit, they'll get him. Immersion had the control in time with the Terrorize. Nisha buys back immediately. They know that the hacks use the BKBs, use the Metamorphosis. Zai goes for a poke onto Afoninja. Afoninja's still alive, but he's been tracked up. Zai's going to be chasing him, and Track's also there onto Immersion. Zai is coming for the kill, and Afoninja's got one more swashbuckle, but he does a tiny one. He doesn't go nearly far enough with the Q, as he's not getting away from them. Immersion's still on the run. They should be able to find him as well. As Zai gets a track. He can go for the Shuriken bounces. Oh, but he's got the Shadow Realm. Shadow Realm will disjoint it in time, so Immersion will live a little longer, as he will manage to make his way back up to the base. Secret, they'll go for the safe play, of course, keep themselves in good control as they'll go towards the pit. Gambit do have members around here. Is there anywhere they can go for a steal? They do have the blink on the Doom.
They have the Doom available too.
He's going to go. Jumps in. He's got the stun onto the Doom. He gets the stun. He got the Doom onto Nisha. Can they kill Nisha in time? But they cannot. He's able to sustain through the Doom. Old Akulich taken out. FNG gets killed outside of the pit. As, again, Secret easily taking Roshan. They get the Aegis and Cheese, and they're ready to go for more now. As each and every attempt here from Gambit just getting shut down. Their best sort of glimpse of a chance was, of course, that kill onto Nisha, but he instantly buys back. They know that, as a team, Secret can just claim the Roshan.
Uh-oh, the Hawk is being spotted bottom. Looks like Nisha wants to try to make a play on here.
He's got to get out of here if he's going to get the chance to do so, but as you say, Nisha He's hunting. To the trees he goes. He is going to use the E-Blade there on the illusion. That's going to mean that Dahak can move himself away. Able to juke it out. Will be able to survive another day as the Terrorblade.
Buying themselves a little bit more time with this, this lead. 17k gold lead, over 20k experience lead too. Now they have an Aegis as well. Just so hard for anybody. So hard for Gambit to make moves. That last fight, like you said, was like the dream scenario, getting that fear on Nisha, but...
Nisha just so far ahead in farm, despite having to buy back in that last situation. As he is a clear 2.5k above that of the Terrorblade, and you can see it just shoots up this game as quickly as the dip was there from the buyback, immediately recovered as they get themselves back into the action and get that Roshan.
The big thing is too is like look at the Pango's net worth, right? YapzOr has surpassed him. Afuning has had a pretty rough time in this game, dying 9 times. I don't think I saw him die that much in this entire tournament. He had like a really low death count overall at this tournament.
This has been a very rough game for Afuninja. As you'll see here, at the start he was able to sort of get ahead of the average, but then his whole game just thrown off course with the amount of times the Secret were able to catch him out back to back around that mid lane. Secret, an 18,000 gold lead. Only 1 rack stands between them and Mega Creeps.
They know Doom's still down for a little bit. They can even push through it anyway with that Aegis, with that cheese. Picking up several more items, and it's time to knock on that high ground again. That last set.
How do they stop this? How do they slow this down? And Morphling with Aegis and cheese. They're going to have to do it 3 times if they want to stop Nisha from taking away the tier 3 and the barracks side. Starts to poke in tracks from the side. As they go, Nisha gets himself into the Terrorblade. They will lead in with the Rolling Thunder. Afuninja trying to start at least something. At least trying to push Secret away for a little bit of time. Swashbuckle out too, but Secret, they have so much heal and sustain. With the Guardian Greaves, they're just taking no damage whatsoever. They have all the auras.
Even just the lifesteal that comes out from
and Katowice, he's going to try and initiate. Jumps in with the Doom, but Puppey's able to swap out mid-1. They've already killed off Katowice. The damage is too much here. The finger comes out onto Afuninja. Zai chasing him down. Swashbuckle will keep Afuninja alive, and they have managed to find Puppey. Katowice turns towards Nisha. Nisha has been cursed crown. He'll be held back for now. YapzOr the stun out onto 2. The Shuriken follow-up from Zai. Burns down FNG. As FNG's dead without buyback, Secret pushing Gambit back towards the fountain. The Viper strike on Dahak doing so much damage here. He'll keep himself alive with a stick and the fountain regen, but the bottom lane is cleared up. Mid-1 just throwing out Viper strikes, keeping Gambit at bay. The magical damage shreds through Afuninja. He's dead without buyback. Tracks are out. They'll try and go into Nisha, but Nisha quick with the E-Blade. Burst and immersion. GG is called. As Team Secret continue to show us their top form here in game 1 of this best of 5, as they leave no chance for Gambit.
How quick things snowballed completely out of control in this game, right? A couple deaths from the mid Pango and everything is just an absolute disaster. They try to go for that dive play onto Nisha when they get the Doom, onto that Glyph high ground and onto the Shrine high ground, and at that point it seems like the game just completely was over for them. They couldn't make any aggressive moves. Secret also gets another follow-up kill on the Pango right afterwards, and then they just get a Roche. It seems so many times lately for Secret that they're able to just get these huge kills and turn it into just a massive objective that allows them to just completely control the map.
Well, Secret, this whole event sort of turning into a huge showreel for how good this squad is. As this game 1 at the best of 5, it's just, there's no exception. It's another day, another victory for Secret. Gambit, they tried one approach. They've got to have something else up their sleeve. I'm sure FNG does.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see if Gambit can step it up, try something different to break the unbreakable, as Secret take game 1 and look to be absolutely on form.
14 in a row for Team Secret as they take a 1-0 lead in the grand final against Gambit Esports. We said it was a mountain to climb. We weren't exaggerating in any shape or form. Our panel are ready to break it down and explain exactly why Gambit weren't able to break down the mountain that is Team Secret. And it has Blitz and Cap alongside gents. Another polished performance from the best team in the tournament so far.
Wow, and it just feels like Secret just finds a way to short-circuit you. We talked so much in the panel segment before that game about the importance of Gambit's early game, the laning configurations, and coming out strong. And I think they got largely what they wanted in the laning phase. But Gambit, against these other teams, is able to transition out of the lanes and start applying pressure around the map. And you saw the big big mid-1 triple kill bottom. You saw the overcommitment onto the Radiant Shrine. That's when Secret started to outplay, and all of a sudden the momentum of this game just completely changed.
Definitely a lot of mistakes from Gambit that throws away their laning phase lead that they had. It was just, it was kind of silly watching some of these situations where they fight on the Shrine or AFO. Like, I understand the position he was in because it's not a lot of fun playing against a Lion, but there was just, like, you get picked off like 2 or 3 times in basically the same way in the mid lane. There was just like so many situations like that against Secret you cannot be sloppy like that.
I think that right now, it's kind of depressing because I felt like when we left the panel, I said I think Gambit might have the better draft, but I think they're still going to lose because I think right now Secret, like their form, the drafts don't seem to really matter. It just feels like they're outplaying everybody. It feels like they're always, the scary part about them, Paul, is it always feels like they're one team fight away from just winning the game. And that's so scary to the enemy team. It's like you have to win 8 consecutive fights before you can finally relax and say, okay, like we finally done it. We've slayed the beast. No, it feels like you have to do it so often and you have to be on guard at all times. And I don't really know how you beat through that aura.
There's not many mistakes to pick on either, is there, Cap?
No, certainly not. Secret played a great game. There was a lot of parts where I was impressed by Secret able to bring more numbers than Gambit to certain fights, while also simultaneously not suffering in their side lane pressure or anything like that. Didn't feel like they were getting overrun over there. And then another cool thing, I really like this synergy. It's the Viper, don't really talk about it too much, the Nether Toxin and the magic resistance, the reduction. So basically, if you don't have like a cloak or any extra magic resistance yourself, Nether Toxin basically makes all magic damage pure by that point, right? Because it decreased by 25%, which is your natural. So then you look at like this Morphling that comes in with this E-Blade, this big shotgun effect, and certain heroes like Pango, who's already naturally very squishy, is super exposed by just the Lion, but even the TB is then exposed by that amount of magic damage.
It's almost the same thing that we see playing against an Elder Titan with all of a sudden you get hit by a spell combo that you don't think is going to kill you and you're just dead. As for Afa Ninja, by the way, that is his first game with double-digit deaths. Going back to Epicenter last year, over 150 games when he was playing with Effect. I have not seen him shut down like that in quite some time.
It looked like inexperience. It just looked like he wasn't used to certain matchups that you haven't seen before.
Plenty to think about as far as Gambit concerned. Let's find out from Purge what he saw in game number 1.
Gambit was off to a really good start in that game, but the downside was that they were playing against a better draft, in my opinion. One of the things that was impactful was Morphling here once he turns into Terrorblade. Now, it's kind of a busted matchup in lots of different ways. You can morph to have your opponent's basic skills, and Terrorblade's ultimate in a lot of ways is his Metamorphosis. And what happens is normally Replicate only lasts like 20 to 30 seconds. Well, Meta lasts longer than that, so all he needs to find is one Terrorblade Illusion or the regular hero, and he can turn into Meta. Let's just take a little zoom in here. Check out his items. 2 Wraith Bands for damage, a Magic Wand, and we're hitting for 237 damage here at 14 minutes. He has virtually no damage items other than the fact that he's level 11 and the 2 Wraiths. I mean, he's got a Midas Recipe, he's got a Morbid Mask, and he's just hitting towers and hitting for so much damage that all of a sudden his hero becomes this crazy hard carry that is a much better version of Terrorblade, because even after Morph ends, he's still got Waveform, he's still got Adaptive Strike, he's still got all these tools that are crazy, and all that base damage amplified up by Vengeful Spirit's Damage Ore and the Wave of Terror. It's pretty bonkers. So basically what Secret's able to do is abuse Morphling's AFK free farm. He went Midas, he went Boots of Travel, he goes Linken's afterwards to protect him from a potential Doom. And then Viper also farms equally fast. If we look at Viper's farm on the total net worth chart, it's really high. It's actually pretty comparable to Morphling despite not getting a Midas. So these two heroes are just going around hitting creeps constantly. TB's able to match them, but Doom isn't able to get quite as much farm, and Bounty Hunter, despite not hitting creeps ever, is moving around and stealing gold and tracking people. So he's able to keep his net worth up as well. So they basically had 3 cores that were able to farm relatively fast. Gambit could not keep up there, and then it just kind of culminated in a big fight. Now just keep an eye. First off, they killed the Nature's Prophet right at the start. Here's Nisha over here, the Morphling we were talking about. He's transformed, and right about here. Now he's just going to sit the back lane. He's going to waveform through. He's going to kill this guy. He's super safe. By the way, his range is farther than what TB can attack at. He's just attacking for 250 damage. Doesn't have that many items. Pretty much all went into the economy, but he just gets to sit back and do whatever he wants. It's actually pretty busted having Morphling versus Terrorblade, and it really helps Secret take the win here.
Thank you, Purge. Yes, we don't often talk about that matchup. We did, I think, probably like a year ago when Arteezy was picking off Terrorblades in the same manner with that morphling. But when you see it like that, Cap, my God.
Yeah,
you never want to pick a Terrorblade into a morph ever again.
Yeah.
Especially with the Venge boosting it.
Yeah,
as
the
well.
Venge boosting you as well. I actually like the look of the support Venge here. We kind of were talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
And I think we might see more of it in the future. I think the hero is going to be kind of revitalized as a support.
Yeah, definitely a good combination.
Puppey played it really well too.
Yeah.
Nox had a really great stat in that game that he had 6 kills at the 16-minute mark, and that's the most that Puppey has had in a game at that point, going all the way back to TI5. He's not usually the kill leader on his team at that point in the game. The other thing I wanted to bring up, by the way, Viper led the way with 24k hero damage in this game, and 16k of that is magical. Since the rework to this hero, his magic damage output has jumped. Half that alone is Nether Toxin. The spell in these team fights, when we stress the importance of these zoned team fights, like around a Coddle, as we've seen in these games, that Nether Toxin damage output is huge. You stack the magic damage amp on top of that, you got a recipe.
Indeedy. Right, we're going to head to a break here in the grand final. Plenty for Gambit to be thinking about. They've tried it once, they tried again. They're going to have to try yet again if they're going to rescue this grand final from the clutches of Team Secret.
Even just the lifesteal that comes out from the back.
Katowice, he's going to try and initiate. Jumps in with the Doom, but Puppey's able to swap out mid-1. They've already killed off Katowice. The damage is too much here. The finger comes out onto Alpha Ninja Zai, chasing him down. Swashbuckle will keep Alpha Ninja alive, and they have managed to find Puppey. Katowice turns towards Nisha. Nisha has been cursed crown. He'll be held back for now. Yap saw the stun out to 2. The Shuriken follow-up from Zai. Burns down FNG. As FNG's dead without buyback, Secret pushing Gambit back towards the fountain. The Viper strike on Dahak doing so much damage.